evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. Welcome to the first installment of Less Important News, the only news show that pulls all of its stories directly from Rupert Murdoch's dumpster. No, I do not mean that metaphorically. Tonight, and/or today's bottom story, disease sweeps the nation of Nepal. Thousands have been diagnosed with dengue fever, including the nation's Minister for Agriculture, in an unprecedented epidemic which has received a resounding, that's a shame, from international responders. But first, from Western Australia, long-awaited legislation to reduce the punishment for unpaid fines has been put forward to the Western Australian Parliament on the 25th night of September. Yes, folks, this revolutionary new proposal puts forward the idea that, hey, maybe you shouldn't lock up people who forgot to pay a parking ticket. As a result, over 2,500 outstanding arrest warrants will be cancelled. According to Western Australian Attorney General John Quinley, the death of one Mrs. Du, an Indigenous woman who was arrested for outstanding fines, was the catalyst for this change. Because apparently, you can't change anything unless you actually die. This news came a little bit late for one Western Australian woman, Kian Dickey, who was beaten and robbed and then sought help from the police, who was then arrested by those same police for outstanding fees, which is messed up on at least 5 different levels, I counted. Regardless, these laws are an important step in Western Australia to help ease the financial burden on its people, especially the Indigenous communities who have felt the brunt of the previous policies. In other news from China, an ex-convict has attacked a school with a cleaver, killing 8 children and injuring 2 others on their first day of school at Chowtangpo Public School in the town of Baiyangping. I would make a joke, but this is a story about kids dying. I am very professional. The killer, a 40-year-old man named Yu. Do we have a last name? No? Just Yu. Well, you allegedly wanted to take revenge against society as a whole, you sick. You should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, himself. Authorities are still investigating his motives, however. The silver lining in all this is that Yu was detained, and the 2 children he injured have been taken to hospital for recovery. This attack, however, is only the most recent in a series of attacks across China. Just this year, 20 children were attacked in Beijing by a man wielding a hammer, and last year 2 separate attacks claimed the lives of 11 other school children and injured dozens more. This reporter asks, why is nobody outside of China talking about this? Oh wait, I remember, it's because they don't speak English. Oh, never mind. It's alright folks, I remember. Now finally, onto the bottom story of the evening. A story so boring and unimportant, I may just fall asleep while recording this. Disease strikes the small mountain republic of Nepal. As reports of dengue fever spread, no pun intended. The disease has been reported to be present in 56 of the 77 Nepali districts, with Kathmandu and Chitwan hit hardest. As of now, there are approximately 8,000 people infected with the disease, as well as 8 confirmed deaths. In addition, the Nepalese Minister for Agriculture, Chakrapani Khan, has also been infected with the disease. Dengue fever isn't the only outbreak happening in Nepal right now. The much more dangerous scrub typhus has made a special guest appearance, with 138 people confirmed to be infected, with 2 confirmed deaths. Both of these outbreaks are believed to be the cause of climate change in the region, encouraging the spread of mosquitoes and chiggers. Yes, a word that is funny exactly the first time you hear it. These bugs carry the viruses, and combined with urbanization in the region, it can cause one heck of a flu. Despite this, our reports suggest that nobody actually cares about this. You know the old saying, another day, another 1,000 third worlders infected with a potentially deadly disease? We suggest you do absolutely nothing to help or bring awareness to this crisis. Well, that's all the time we have for this installment. Less important news will return whenever I feel like doing another one of these. Oh, apologies, but the camera seems to be facing the wrong direction throughout this entire broadcast. Could someone fix that, please?
Marvelous.